Namaste everybody, Irina here. Welcome to this video where I'm taking you on a journey through the chakras or energetic centers in the astral body. I invite you to find a quiet space in your home, switch off or put on the silent mode any mobile devices, any other electronic devices, and find a space to unroll your mat, and please take a cross-legged seated position. We're going to start the yoga practice very shortly. Vishuddha or throat chakra is the fifth chakra within the energetic body. The location of this chakra is the base of the throat in the center of larynx. So when the energy is balanced in this chakra, we are able to express ourselves, to be creatively or through the voice. So it's a clear communication, effective communication, its ability to be heard and to hear others. And you can treat this or consider this chakra as a gateway to authenticity, creativity, and effective communication. There are many ways of balancing the energies in the different chakras. If we are talking about the Vishuddha, a very effective way would be mantra repetition to work with the sound. Also, the visualization in your meditative practice could be an avenue that you would consider. As for me, I always connect more to the body, and through the yoga practice, or also known as Hatha yoga, that's the way that I'm working on balancing my own energies, and therefore I invite you to share my practice with me and benefit from it. So position your hands on the knees. I'm using the block to elevate the pelvis, so if you do have a brick or the block to hand, I would advise to use it. Just that gives you a bit of elevation of the sit bones. It means that the knees could drop to the floor, and there is no much tension that we are putting in the back to keep it in upright and straight position. Hands are resting on the knees. Relax through the facial muscles, making sure that your shoulders and shoulder blades are relaxed as well. Soften through the upper body. And start being aware of the breath. And slowly and gently start deepening the breaths. Feel the expansion of the chest, feel the expansion of the belly, feel the movements of both cavities on the inhale and exhale. Exhalation is prolonged and equal to the inhalation. Notice the space in the throat area, the base of the throat. Notice any vibrations. Perhaps it could be a very warm sensations in the throat. Or if you're not feeling anything and you're struggling to connect, try not to set any expectations. Just being aware. We'll start with rolling, making a circular movement with the neck. If you want to keep your gaze closed, but pay attention to the sensations in the base of the neck, in the upper shoulders, where the tension could be present. And the signs of blocked Vishuddhi Chakra could be the strain through the neck and feeling tiredness in that part of the body, and the straining goes into giving you the headaches, migraines. So that could be a physical manifestation of the imbalances of the energy. And then let's make the change of the direction. Notice any pains, any aches, maybe some discomfort, and adjust the movement of the neck accordingly. So if you're finding, okay, my range of movement is quite high without bringing pain in the body, then stay with those movements, or maybe reducing the movement and back into the center. Let's bring your gaze and turn into the left, rotate to the right, your neck back into the center, bring the chin up, look down, and bring the chin down and look up, and back into the center. Right, starting from the left, inhale, back into the center, towards the right, and back into the center. Chin up, gaze down, chin down, gaze up, back into the center. The third round, in, turn the head towards the left, center, and on the exhale towards the right, and back into the center. Inhale, chin up, gaze down. Exhale, chin down, gaze up, and back into the center. Let's take a lateral stretch. So your right arm goes up with your left hand on the floor. We're going to try and stretch the side of the body from the waist up, keeping the chest out, and then to the other side. Remember, you want to kind of rotate the chest out, trying not to lose that expansion and the space in the chest when we're making that side stretch. And back into the center. Remove the block, just have it to side if you need in any of the asanas to use it as a prop. And very gently, we are in all fours, very gently bring your hands forward, bringing your belly towards the thighs. And here you can bring the chin towards the floor, and we can stretch the throat. Or you can bring the forehead on the floor. Restricting, just slightly restricting the belly,
Keep the breath going, but start engaging with the second bandha and start squeezing the perineum. And very gently back into all four. Your knees are width hip apart. Remember, hands under the shoulders. We're going to tug the toes. We're going to lift the knees and pedal through the feet. We're going to lift the right leg, lift it up, bend the knee, bring it forward, and then step forward. So while you're doing that, try to round through the back and create the space so you can bring that front leg to the front. The knee onto your left knee onto the mat. And we're going to just sink gently into the hips. And when I'm referring to sinking, it means you want to go with the pelvis slightly forward. So here, remember, we are warming up the body, so don't go all in too fast, too quick. And you're bringing the hands behind you, and you're stretching through the throat, and we're looking up. Remember, if you're finding that that's too much, going to the center is always an option. And actually, without sinking in, you're trying to build more strength because you have to keep yourself centered here. So you are more connecting to the body and strengthening the body. Okay, let's bring the hands down. Let's step back into the down dog, pedal through the feet, still bringing the warmth and the movement into the body, and lifting the left leg. Bend the knee, so shift your weight, so round through the back, and then step forward. Or you can use your hand and bring the leg forward using your hand. Drop the right knee to the floor and press forward. Let's open through the chest. Let's give a stretch to the throat. And because of the position of the throat chakra so close to the thyroid and parathyroid gland, usually the metabolic health in the body will also indicate whether the chakra is balanced or deficient or has the excess energy. Okay, release your hands forward. Step back into the Adho Mukha Svanasana. If you still need the movement to pedal through the feet, if not, you can come into the full version of the down dog. Remember, we're trying to recreate the letter V, that's the shape. Hands pressing the mat away. Fingers are spread. We're creating vacuum in the belly, perineum squeezed, and walking forward until you reach the top of the mat and leave yourself some space. Relax the upper body. Hang there. Your toes are big toes touching, heels could be slightly apart. Connect through the feet into the mat. Inhale, we're going to do a halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step into the plank. Into the Adho Mukha Svanasana. We're going to drop the knees. We're going to drag the chest, the chin, keeping your elbows really close to the body. And then inhale, we're pressing into Bhujangasana, tucking the toes and getting into the down dog. Let's stay for 5 breaths in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Balasana is always an option if you're finding maybe those are the days that you don't feel very strong in the body and you want to maybe spend 2 breaths in the down dog and then 3 breaths in the child's pose. That's always an option. Listening to the body. Work with the body. Let's bend the knees, look forward, step, walk or jump. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, fold, separate feet with hip apart. And we're going to bring the hands under the feet, palms facing up. Inhale. And on the exhale, bend the elbows and bring the belly towards the thighs, shoulders away from the ears. We're trying to bring the elbows to the sides. A few breaths here. Okay, release the hands. Inhale halfway. Exhale, plant your hands. Step into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Drop the knees. Drag the chest, the chin, keeping your sit bones really high, and then you're gliding up, framing the body with the hands, with the arms, sorry. Tuck the toes into the down dog. Lift your right leg up, look forward, step forward. So create space round through the back, because then you can position, by creating the space, you can step forward. High lunge, peel the hands off the floor, bring the arms behind you, roll the shoulders back and stretch through the throat. Remember, strong connection to the bandhas. So you keep squeezing the perineum, keep the navel drawn in, keep the back kneecap elevated. And then that arch through the neck. Again, it may be that as soon as you start arching and stretching the throat, you'll find that the balance may be slightly, you can find yourself off the balance. Okay, let's bring the hands down. Let's pivot and rotate towards the left side. Okay, high lunge. Interlacing the fingers behind you. So if you're kind of rounding through the back, what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to open through the chest. Roll the shoulders back. Remember, the 5th chakra, Vishuddha, the location is the throat, the base of the throat. So we want to make sure that we are manipulating physical body. So we're stretching, we're flexing, we're twisting. Bring your hands down to the floor. Step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Drop the knees. Drag the chest, the chin. Inhale, cobra. Look up. Have a few breaths. Keep your glutes engaged. Keep your legs straight and toes pointing. Tug the toes. Down dog. Okay, let's get into the plank. And from the plank, we can go into Chaturanga. If you need to modify Chaturanga, you can bring the knees and then lower and then gliding up and coming into the Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, so your up dog. Look up. Roll the shoulders back. Keep the body framed with the arms. Tuck the toes. Down dog. Let's cross the legs. And we're going to release the legs forward and preparing for the forward fold, Paschimottanasana, or Western fold. You can use the block to just ensure that your feet are kept flexed. And also you can maybe grab the block. Inhale, let's bring the arms up. And exhale, we're gonna, without losing the length in the spine, we're gonna go forward and fold forward. So I'm at the moment quite far away from that block, and it's okay. I'm starting with the ankles maybe. Inhaling, testing the waters. Exhale, maybe going a little bit further. I'm also trying to keep my knees soft to avoid overstretching the hamstrings, and then to see, okay, can I reach the block? If you are in a position that your hands are on the shins or ankles, stay here. Don't lose the length in the spine for the sake of going forward. As soon as you're rounding, you can go really deep into the fold, but let's lengthen through those muscles in the back. And gently release. Okay, for the next one, it's a great asana for working on Vishuddha, and it is candle or shoulder stand. If you're absolute beginner, I wouldn't recommend to practice it by yourself without the guidance of experienced practice, and usually I would recommend to maybe start practicing it in the studio. However, if you are if you have been practicing before, maybe you're not confident practicing by yourself, remember you can always have a wall behind you to ensure that that element of fear may be reduced. So please do use the wall if needs to. For those who are practicing the shoulder stand without the wall, I'd like you to bring yourself onto the mat, and let's come into the pose. So we're gonna elevate and we're gonna bring the legs behind. So if your toes touching the floor, it means that you can start wiggling. So wiggle ensures that our C7 section is off the floor. So pretty much you're in Halasana here, in the plow pose. Trying not to look to the sides, no movement of the neck. And here you can position your hands on the lower back and then extend. You can start from knees bent. You can start with, okay, how does it feel if I release one leg at a time? But the most important part is that You don't have a pressure on your neck. This is called shoulder stand. So wiggling the shoulder and bringing shoulder blades together ensures that you are not compromising the neck. Breathing deeply. And gently, let's get into Halasana, the plow pose, which is again inversion, but a different position. So we are trying to bring the toes to touch, and then you can interlace the fingers, or you can make your arms extended and palms flat. You can also grab onto the mat. Any of those variations. Another pose as an inversion Karnapidasana, ear pressure pose, is where if you want to try and bring your knees towards the forehead or opening up, so the knees are trying to reach towards the ears, both ears, not just one. And very gently, we're going to start coming out. Remember, first of all, ensure your hands are pressing down. Use them, use it. So you're pressing, don't rush. At some point, you will have to engage the solar plexus. So just don't dump your weight forward. Controlled way, control, solar plexus engaged. And straight away, we're going to go into the counter pose, which is the fish pose for it. Bringing your arms above you, palms facing down. Okay, chest is open. Flex the elbows and bring the chest up. And here you can arch. And breathe. I'm pointing the toes, so I'm ensuring that my legs are active. And very gently coming out, fully flat onto the floor. Let's bring the knees towards the chest. And make the circular movements, rotating in and out each of the hip. We're going to very gently rock forward and find yourself sitting on the sit bones. Bring the soles of the feet together. Create the diamond shape with the legs. Interlace the fingers. Position them on the top of the toes. Inhaling. Let's bring the fresh air into the lungs. And on the exhale, fold forward and start bringing the torso forward. So you're kind of sinking with the weight forward, rounding through the back, rounding through the neck. The chin is tucked in towards the chest. Very gently coming out of the pose, bringing yourself into the cross-legged seated position, Sukhasana, Padmasana, Ardha Padmasana, or the hero pose.
Bringing your hands to relax on the knees. Taking deep breath, breathing through the nose. Taking your time to observe the physical sensations, taking this opportunity to connect to the body. Notice the mental state, the thoughts, maybe the absence of the thoughts. Maybe that noise is slightly tuned out, reduced. And notice the emotions. Notice anything that come into the surface. Without putting labels, without creating concepts, definitions, just observing. Very gently opening the eyes, bringing both of your palms up to touch above the head, drawing the palms towards the heart center, Anahata chakra. Bowing forward to finish off the practice. Namaste.